So here we are to demonstrate one of the types of EnerPeel. In this particular video, and there are others of other EnerPeel, we're looking at doing a chest peel. So the area we're looking at is where there's a little bit of sun damage, and we're just going to try and improve that and the texture of the skin. Our client today has had a Jesner's peel on this area before, and she's preparing to go on holiday. So today we're going to just do the mandelic because we want to make sure she's fully recovered for going on her holes. So you can see here on the table we have the various components of the EnerPeel, which we've gone through in other videos. We've got the preparatory wipes, the neutralizer and the remover wipes, and here you've got the brushes and the actual peels. Now the peel already has the brush head on, and this is a 40% mandelic acid. So right now our clinician is going to use the red sachet of the preparatory wipes, which again, these are designed to remove surface lipids so that the peels can engage with the skin. And you just wipe across the area quite thoroughly to make sure that any surface oils are removed and any that have gone into the little creases in the lines have gone. So that way the peel can absorb into the skin a lot better. They are quite strong, so often you may say to the client, close your eyes, take a big breath, because they are designed for a medical procedure. Now we come back over here and we're going to take the peel. As I say, this is a mandelic acid and a 40% mandelic acid. The mandelic acid is in a carrier, it's in the mandellate form and in the mandelic form. The mandellate is drawn into the skin and converts to mandelic acid in like a slow release form. You can see we're just drawing it out onto the skin. The EnerPeel solution has a slightly oily consistency, and that's because the carrier transports the peel into the skin before it releases it. So you're releasing the acid in the skin rather than on it. So it has a much more dermal focus rather than epidermal trauma. To change the structure of the skin, we want to get to the dermis. To remove the surface sun damage, yes, we do want to encourage some exfoliation. Once you've got a good layer on, now this peel will stay on, the mandelic will stay on for up to 10 minutes. Some people will just remove what's left on the surface and leave the mandelic acid to work in the skin. But as we said, our client is going on holiday in a few weeks' time, so we're going to neutralise this so that the activity is stopped, but it should still have a good effect. So we've got it all on now, a nice good coating. The client should be comfortable. In terms of pain scores, I would reckon that the pain score should be somewhere between 0 and 1 out of 10. Would that be the case?
Yes.
Can you feel anything?
No.
So this will carry on for 10 minutes. And we'll just pause the video there and then we'll come back. So here we are back again. Time has moved on. We're coming up to about 7 minutes. The clinician is still just making sure as much of the peel solution is contacting the skin so that the EnerPeel carriers can draw the mandellate. There is also something, a 5% strength of MSM, methyl sulfonyl methane, in the mandelic peel. That's to suppress surface erythema. The old style peels, you wanted to create erythema because you were using an epidermal trauma to filter down to trigger a dermal response. With EnerPeel, the EnerPeel goes in, and so it has a much more direct dermal response. So erythema and frosting are actually not as necessary with this peel. In fact, we don't encourage it. If we do see frosting, we'd stop it. Now, we keep checking with the client. You keep looking to see if there is any erythema or frosting. You keep checking with the client to check on their pain scores or discomfort scores. And usually with mandelic acid, it's a faint tingling, which I'm guessing the client will verify is correct?
Yes, it is.
So we're coming round towards 9 minutes now, and we're going to be neutralise this. And while the clinician is still just moving the solution around, I'll just go back over here. You can see we've got a choice of wipes here. There's the remover wipes and there's the neutralizer wipes. The neutralizer wipes are a 12% arginine solution, and we use arginine because it is food for skin cells. So they after anything that's left after the neutralisation can be drawn into the living cells and actually causes them to plump up because they draw water in. Now, but arginine, the main reason for using arginine, we can also attach the arginine to an EnerPeel carrier solution. That means wherever the peel, whatever depth the peels have gone to, the EnerPeel neutralisers can track them down and neutralise them. If we were extending the peel and we wanted to leave the peel active in the skin, then we might use the EnerPeel remover wipes. Now they're very surface acting and would just remove any carrier or any remaining solution from the surface while leaving the actual active ingredients working in the skin, and they would eventually, over a number of hours, neutralise themselves. But you get a much bigger effect that way, and it's becoming a very popular way forward. With peels like Jesna's, which is the other one we'd use on the chest, we wouldn't neutralise it anyway. Jesna's, we'd leave the lactic acid and resorcinol components to keep working on the sun damage and on the pigmentation. The salicylic acid part of the Jesna's would neutralise itself. We've now got 10 seconds before the 10 minutes now, so we're just going to stop the brushing. We're going to take the neutraliser wipe, take it out of the pack, open it up, and then as we come around to 10 minutes now, we're just going to lay that on the chest area, the area that's been treated, and we'll neutralise it. So there's 3 ml of solution in an EnerPeel neutraliser wipe, and that compares with 2 ml of solution within the actual vial of peel. So you do it this way. This is a good technique to do. You can feel maybe a bit of warmth underneath your hands when you do it this way. Other people will literally squeeze the solution onto the skin or into their other hand, and the clinician then can often apply it with their fingertips. So the main aim is the tingling may go up a little bit with the mandelic as the neutraliser and the acid have a bit of a chemical battle on the skin. So any tingling that comes will fade away quite quickly. Now once this is done, we allow a few minutes to make sure that the client is happy, there's no areas that we haven't missed, and then before we finish we'll get some cotton wipes and dampen them, and we can clean the area. As I've said in other videos, after an EnerPeel, whether it's a TCA, a pyruvic acid, a mandelic or whichever, you can cleanse the skin afterwards, you can use water on the skin. You're not going to get crystals of acid forming on the skin because the EnerPeel carrier takes them in. And also by cleansing the area, you remove any remaining carrier that's left on the surface, which can be a bit sticky. And then once that's all nicely cleansed, it's important we put a high factor UV. Our UV in the Teddy Skin range, and also we have a UV in our rosacea range. Both have anti-reddening agents in, and both have hydrating agents. It's important that we thin the skin here. A mandelic acid will thin the skin, thin the stratum corneum by about 1/3. So the skin is more sensitive to sun. So it's important to put a high factor on once the client is fully neutralised. And over the next few days, either the client particularly keeps that area covered up, or they definitely make sure that they wear a high factor sunscreen. UVA and UVB, and we use physical SPFs like titanium and zinc, but also we use phyto SPFs like which are plant-based ones, which actually absorb the UV. Now we've got a good dose on there. That's probably enough to do a face and a neck, but I'm sure it'll all rub in quite soon. And that is really all there is to it. I'll leave the clinician to massage the sunscreen in, and thank you for your time.